Yeah, good morning, everyone. So, yes, last session we learned about number data type, right? So, in JavaScript data types, so we started learning about primitive types. In the primitive types, one data type we learned is number. So, we discussed about how do we handle number. So, all basic points we discussed what are the various number formats. Number format means signed, unsigned, floating, double, exponent, hexa. All these comes under what? Number. We also discussed how do we convert a string to number. For that we have parsing methods. What are those? Parse int, another one, parse float. So we have another one. How to convert a number into string, because to apply various currency formats, string formats, we need to convert a number into string. To convert number into string, we have two string, another one, two local string. Two local string allows currency styles and all. Two string will just convert into string. To local string already I given a syntax. If you add language also, you can get a currency symbol. For example, to local string, we have to pass the value of price, and which is to local string, into which language currency you want to display. The language type you have to mention. You know, already we discussed language of page, en-in in the HTML section we discussed. So you can use a language so that according to that you can put the currency. For example, if language is English US and the currency is what? USD. USD is US dollars. Then automatically the display will be in currency format. It will add a currency symbol, and even the number style will be in currency. The number style also in currency, 1000 separators and all. So you want to display English -in, that is Indian, and what is the currency? INR. INR is the currency, then it will display in Indian rupee. The 1000 separators, decimals, currency symbols, everything will change. For that you can use the two local string. By using two local string, you can display the formats. So this is example I already posted in the class for that. This is all what type? Number. We will put them in some examples, but for those examples we need to learn all the data types we need to discuss. After understanding number type, today we will see how we can manage the string type. So JavaScript string type. How you define the string types. In the data types, the primitive types, we have number, another string. Actually, technically, string is a literal with a group of characters enclosed in, we have double quotes or single quotes or in backticks. These are backticks. Backticks is new from JavaScript latest versions. From JavaScript ES5 and higher versions, now developers mostly use these backticks. What is difference? We will see that. String is nothing but a group of characters enclosed in double quote or single quote or backtick. What is the difference? Let's see. What is the basic difference here? So the basic difference is single and double quotes. Double quotes are used to toggle outer and inner string. They are used to toggle outer and inner string. Single and double quotes are used to toggle outer and inner string. Toggling outer and inner string means, I will show you that switch, how they can happen. For example, I am creating a link var link is equal to, link is an anchor, and usually this anchor have home. This anchor requires href. It's a string, it requires href. Href again requires a string. Then you cannot write a string again in double quote. That is not valid. If already outer string is in double quotes, then inner string cannot be in double quote. Then what you have to do is, inner string you have to write in single quote home.html, something like this. If outer string is in double quote, the inner string must be in single quote. Just for your understanding, I given some space. Or you can toggle. That is what actually. Toggling is nothing but outer string can be in single quote, link. Outer string can be in single quote, inner string can be in double quote. You can switch between them. This is outer string, inner string. Combination can be like this. Single and double quote. The outer string, if it is in double quote, inner string will be in single. If outer string is in single quote, inner string will be in double. You have to switch between them. If outer string is single quote, again inner string cannot be single quote. Right? So when you are defining a string within a string, then you need single and double toggles. Right? Now you see here, that's the example. How do you define? Now you are accessing var link is equal to anchor and home. And this link is having an href. Href again cannot be a double quote. You cannot have double quote again. That's invalid. If outer string is in double quote, then inner string must be in single. You have to keep in single quote. That is valid. So if I print like document.write link, then it is going to display and show that like a link. It will display like a link. We can just have a link with that. Or if outer string is in single quote, then again inner string cannot be in single quote. You can switch like this. Inner string in what? Double. You can add like this. That's also same. So you can use a combination of single and double quotes. You can switch between outer and inner string. When you are dealing with the strings, you can do this. Now what is problem with single double quote strings is binding dynamic value to a string requires lot of concat techniques. So using plus operator. Binding dynamic value to a string requires lot of concatenation techniques. Concatenation techniques using plus operator, you can do that. By using plus operator, you have to concat a dynamic value. Then you have a lot of problems here. Lot of issues are present. What are the issues you see now? Dynamics string, I will show it, dynamic values. For example, we are declaring here var some username. I will take from a prompt. Suppose enter your name. After that, var age, parse int, we will take from a prompt. Enter age. And here I want to display a message. Message will say that hello, that username, and you will be some age plus 1 next year. That is what message we want to show. What is the first word to display? String. What is it? Hello. After that, an exclamation. Fine. To this string, we want to add this username. To add the username, we have to use a plus. That is concatenation operator. Plus, what is the dynamic value? From where dynamic value is coming from? Uname. Okay. After that, string is continuing. It's not finishing. Then again plus. And we need to put the string. You will be. After that, I want a calculation. Age plus 1. Then again a concatenation. Here I have to put a parenthesis. In that age plus 1. That is an expression you have to put. Okay. After that, again plus. And we continue the string. Next year. This is what we are displaying. That is what the point we are showing. Hello. And the username. You will be your age plus 1 next year. That is the message. And dynamic values means username is dynamic. It is coming from prompt. Age is also dynamic. It is coming from prompt. And we are adding to this string. Then lot of concatenation required. But still output is not satisfied. You see document.write message. I want to print that message. Let's try to print this message and see. You can see in the output, it display enter name. I entered some John, enter age, some 23. And it says, hello John, you will be 24 next year. That looks okay. It is going to display all the messages, but there is no correct space. Again, we have to take care about that space. Generally, we never recommend to put empty spaces like this. That means when you are writing a string, welcome, and after that we want some space. We don't ask to put space and put a quote. This is not good. Why this is not good? Because these are called leading spaces. Leading spaces means the extra space before the word, after the word. We call them as leading. In computer programming, whenever we read a string, we use a technique through which we can remove the leading spaces and read the string. Everywhere, any technology in the world, they read the string by removing leading spaces because accidentally some extra spaces may come. Due to that, what happens when you give space manually before or after string, they will be deleted later. That is the reason we should not give a space as leading space. Then how do you give space? then you have to concat space also. That means after the word hello, you have to put a plus with a blank space like this. After username, again plus a blank space. After you will be blank space. After age, again a blank space like this. This is the right way of presenting a string. Now you see enter John and name, you will be 23 next year. This is now okay. But this is very lengthy process of configuring a string. So JavaScript ES5 and higher version, they introduced a concept of backtick. This is not there in earlier versions of JavaScript. What is the specialty of this backtick is, that means this requires a lot of concatenation. Syntactically, how we write, so some string, and after that we put plus dynamic value, again put plus, and again put some string. Like this we need to do. Lot of concatenation you need. Before and after you need plus plus like that. I will give that example. We'll see that. Now to avoid this problem of binding, ES5 and higher versions of JavaScript introduced a data binding expression that is defined with dollar curly brace. So which you can embed in a string with the backticks only. It will not work in single quotes and double quotes. That is a new data binding expression. By using that, you can embed inside a string any dynamic value, but that string must be in backticks. So ES5 and higher versions of JavaScript, they use this backtick. And in the modern JavaScript, everywhere we use this backtick very much. We regularly use this backtick very much, because dynamically binding the values will be very easy with these backticks. And that is done with data binding expression, that is curly brace. Now see how it is easy. What we can do is, here we can just define our string in a backtick. This is a string, and you can put a dynamic value, and you can continue your string. You can just keep it in this way. That's simple. You don't need to use plus. You don't need to use any concatenation. And this is backtick. This is not single quotation. That is backtick. It is not single quote. Backtick is different. Single quote is different. Single quotes are different. So you see here, we can configure the string in this way. That means now I will do one more here. At the end, I will put a BR line break, and this I will give as message 1. And currently message 1 is printing. So message 1 is printing, but we need to give a lot of concatenations. So name and age, and it will display like that. Let's go into the design. Here, let's add another message, var message 2. Here I will put a backticks now. These are backticks. This is backtick. Inside backtick, now you write the string hello. After that, you continue your string. Wherever you need a dynamic value, you put a dollar curly brace. And what is the dynamic value? Username. and continue your string. You will be, so again, dollar curly brace, age plus one, and what next year. This looks so simple. And this is the modern way of writing the strings in JavaScript, right? That is the best way. You can dynamically bind the values easily. Now you see, let's print this message to also. I will print document dot write. What it is? Message 2. And you see message 1, message 2. I will enter some John, enter age, and it will display both same. In the placements, alignments, everything is same. But first one looks lengthy. Lot of concatenations, plus before, plus after. Now it is easy way of representing the string. You can easily configure the string and represent the string dynamically like this. This is called data binding expression. Data binding expression allows you to bind dynamic values easily. And it is not possible in single and double quotes. For example, if you write a single quote or double quote, it is not possible. Suppose I am writing in single quote. I am writing in single quote, this binding expression. And you try to present this now. I will refresh here. I will enter some name and enter age. Then it is not going to use it. That binding expression is not allowed in double quotes and single quotes. It is allowed only with what? Backtick. You just put a backtick, and backtick allows that dynamic expression. Single and double quote will not allow. So if anyone asks what is difference, single double quotes are used for toggling inner and outer strings. And in single double quotes, the dynamic values are binded by using concatenation operator, that is plus. And to make it the string simple with the dynamic values, you can use the new method, that is what? Data binding expression. Data binding expression is defined by using dollar curly brace, which is only possible using what? Backticks, right? That is a basic concept. I will give this example. While working with strings, this is the example of how you manage the string. Next, important, while working with string, one more thing you should know is string cannot print. String cannot print few characters. String cannot print few characters. To print the non-printable characters, you have to use the escape sequence character slash. You have to use the escape sequence character slash. This already we know in regular expression. Already when we learned regular expression, there I already explained this. We learned about text box regular expressions. That means patterns. When we learned about pattern, I told you /d, /w. We used those regular expressions in form concept. Remembered? There I told you dot. Dot is used for dot is used for dot is used for the same face you have to keep in interviews also. Understood? Same face you have to show in interviews also if they ask this question, right? And they don't feel any interesting in your face without any answer. Huh? Why you learned all those? You need to remember them, right? Just sitting in class it is just waste of chairs for you. Huh? daily arranging chairs for you, sitting on chairs, right? That's no use. You need to remember all these things what you are learning, right? Seriously, right? These will have a lot of effect in your future, because the current future of web designing is Angular, React like technologies. Even you are a Java developer, and you can't handle them without knowledge of complete HTML and JavaScript. You will fail every interview. Be careful, because these days we don't want any Java developer, .NET developer without advanced technologies like Angular and React. We don't want them. 100% we don't want. And those are not perfect in Angular and React, we are not going to consider them as web developers. These days companies are not taking anybody. Only Java developers. We don't care. We don't want also. You know, MBBS, only MBBS, same like your only Java. What you can do is you can become like an RMP doctor. You can put a small shop, in that you can sit. Only MBBS, nothing. If you don't do any specializations like React, Angular, like technologies in the current generation, no company will call you. 100%. No company is going to call a Java developer, .NET developer, PHP, Python developer without the technologies like Angular and React. You can't manage those technologies without JavaScript. Understood? This is only the future for the current software people, right? So you will understand once you go through all the interviews and all. You will understand, right? So remember all the concepts you are learning. You need to refer them again, because whatever you learned in HTML, you are going to use now. You need to be perfect in HTML. Especially I told you forms concept. You need to be very strong in them. Otherwise, no use, right? So the dot character I told you, dot is used to refer any single character. Remember? Question mark, asterisk, plus, dot is used for any single character. And if I use dot, if I want to use dot, then it is not possible. Then we have to use an escape sequence character. What is it? Slash. In strings also same. Several characters are not printable. You observe carefully here. Some characters are not printable. Let's see here. I am using var path is equal to d:/project/ images/ and some fashion.jpg. Like this we are writing. And document.write, I want to print the path. You can see it is unable to print the path in a correct way. It cannot print the path. It will transforms. It will transforms the path. Why? Because actually here /f becomes a special character. And this slash is already a meta character. It will escape. It will not print. Then how do you print any character which is not printing? Just what you have to do is, if this character is not printing, you have to precede with a slash. That's it. That means before that character, put a slash. Again, here also put a slash. Here also put a slash. Then you can see now the path is correctly defined. Otherwise, it will go wrong. Suppose I want to print a double quote, and it cannot print a double quote because double quote is already a meta character, general compiling character. Then what we have to do? Before the double quote, you have to put a slash. Then it can able to print the double quotes. You can see it is going to print the double quote. If any character in a string is escaping, it is unable to print. Just before that, you have to put a slash. This is very important. Escape sequence, syntactically like this. If you define, so let path is equal to some d colon slash images. This is going to display like this. It is going to display d colon images. So how do you correctly write it? Path is equal to d colon double slash images. Then it will be correctly defined images. So when you are working with strings, these basics you need to remember. In JavaScript, string can be in double quote, string can be in single quote, or string can be in backticks. The advantage of backtick, you can embed expressions into that, right? And another important now is any character, if it is missing, it is unable to print, you have to precede the character with a slash, right? Next, important while working with the strings here is JavaScript provides various methods for formatting and manipulating string. JavaScript provides various methods for formatting and manipulating a string. And several programmer interviews deals with these only. That means you attend any interview as a programmer, C, C++, Java, .NET, any programming language, JavaScript. Everywhere, lot of questions are asked on these methods. String methods. I hope you have string handling in Java also, right? Now, lot of questions are asked. Lot of questions. That means they test all your programming ability on this. And you have to handle them. That means they will ask like, write a program to find out whether the string is a palindrome or not. Have you seen? Out of 100 interviews you attend in any company as a programmer, as a Java, .NET, C, C++ programmer, this question is compulsory. Without handling them, you cannot manage interviews these days. Programmer specially interviews will be all logics like this. Lot of concentration they take on your selection statements, looping statements, and string handling. Majority of developers are tested on string and arrays. If you are good in string arrays and extra, you Java people have collections, na? String arrays and collections. These are very important to crack any MNC interview. So to crack any MNC interview, so you have to be very, very strong in handling these three topics. So first level interview will be this. If you crack that, then you will go to second round. Right? Majority people come from the first round itself because the topics will be related to this. Very complex programs they ask. You know, they ask like, write a program to print a diamond of stars. Have you seen? No. If you don't practice them, forget about interviews and all. Right? Because this is what they ask in interviews. Write a program for doing this, doing that. I will show you some programs which are frequently asked. Right? I will show you. So technically, JavaScript provides lot of methods for formatting string, manipulating. Formatting means what? Formatting means font, color, styles, appearance and all. That is what we call formatting. Manipulating means removing characters, adding characters, changing the characters. All such things comes under what? Manipulation. We will see two kind of methods. JavaScript string formatting. Formatting includes we have options like bold, we have italics, we have like font size, we have like font color. So we have SUP, superscript, SUB, subscript. You have like, so strike is like strikeout. So you have like two uppercase. So two uppercase, like we have like two lowercase. All these comes under string formatting methods. These call are string formatting methods. Why you need string formatting methods? That's a very simple thing, because you know, when user enters any value correct, we will show in green color. When user enters wrong, we will change it to red color. How you will dynamically change the colors? How you will format the string dynamically? That you can do by using these methods. We can make a string bold, we can make it italics, we can verify that by using this. For example, let's see one simple concept here. By using string formatting methods, how you manage. Syntactically, how to apply these methods. Suppose we have a var str is equal to some welcome, and I want to display this welcome in bold, str dot bold. That's it. That means it is going to display it in bold. So you can add multiple methods, like we can say italics, we can say font size, so we can say font color. So we can add all these effects and make it effective. So a string can be applied with a lot of formats dynamically by using these methods, string formatting methods. By using string formatting methods, you can manipulate the string. You can format the string. But remember, all methods are not available. You have to depend on a lot of styles also. I will show you styles. String formatting, these are options. For example, you want to put a shadow, you want to put some borders, such things we can't give, because these are all HTML type. And if you want more effects, you have to apply using your styles. I will show those also. But first, string formatting methods means, see, suppose you are writing here some simple option is data list, data term. So enter mobile, and data definition input type is equal to text, id as txt mobile, and below the data definition id as mobile error. Okay. Now what I want to do is, when user finished typing mobile number, is we are writing an event on blur. On blur indicates user clicks inside. When user clicks inside, that is focus, and type something, he finished and click outside, that means he comes out of it, then it is called as blur. That means I want to verify whether there is a value inside that text box or not once he finished typing inside it. That means you see here, generally, for example, you see this is a text box. I click inside, this is called focus. I click inside, that is called focus. I click outside, that is called blur. Blur means I click, called blur. Okay. On blur, we will write a function verify mobile. Now we will write a script here. Script function, what it is? Verify mobile. I will first collect what they entered in this text box. So where mobile is equal to document get element by ID, what it is? txt what? Mobile dot value. So it will return a string. So mobile is a string. I already told you, anything you input from HTML, it is a string. Okay, now what we will do is we will get mobile error also. Document dot get element by ID, what it is? Mobile error. And here we will write a condition. If mobile is equal to empty, mobile is equal to empty, this indicates there is no value inside mobile. In the mobile text box, there is no value. Empty is defined by using this double quote. If it is empty, then what should happen? Mobile error dot inner HTML, I want to display as mobile required. This message we will give. This is a string we are displaying. This is a string we are displaying. And see now what happens. Else, what we will do? Mobile error dot inner HTML, we will display as mobile verified. This message we will give. If there is value. If there is value, else we will write mobile inner HTML verified. But see now, initially, I click inside without typing anything. I click outside, it will show that message. I entered some mobile number and click outside, then it says mobile verified. Messages are changing, good, but I want color. I want mobile verified in green color. I want mobile required in red color. That means we need to dynamically apply some style. How to apply styles to the string? Mobile required is a string. To that string, we can apply by using simply, we say bold. We will apply italics. We will apply font color. Font color as what? Color name. Color name is some red. And if it is verified, then we will apply only italics. And we will put font color. Font color is what? Green. So dynamically you are changing the appearance of an string. So you can see now I entered, click here and click outside, then it says mobile required. I click inside and enter some mobile number and click outside, it is green. So we can just format any string dynamically. We can change the format of any string dynamically by using what? String formatting methods. String formatting methods. So you can apply the string formatting methods like this. So many string formatting methods are there you can use. For example, I will show one more here. See, I will give here one more regular concept here, term. I will enter a data term and say username and data definition input type is equal to text. ID as txt name. Okay, in this placeholder, I will give username block letters, username in block letters. Block letters. That is what I have given. Now see what should happen is here, user have to enter the name and we are asking the name to be entered in capital letter. If user is not typing capital letter, we will convert it. This you will see almost in several websites. Suppose in banking website, they ask enter IFSC code and you enter IFSC code in small letters. It will be automatically changed to caps. In several application forms online, they say enter all in capital letter. address and everything, but you enter in small letters, no worry, they will convert that into caps. So that means we can change the capitalization of any text. Then how you do that? You see, now we are going to manage that. And when to convert, here also I will give the same event. What is that event? On blur. On blur, I will say change case. Okay. Let's write this function. I will write another function. That function is change case. Now, what is the logic? Logic is nothing but whatever they entered in this text box, we have to collect. That means they entered some name they have entered. We have to collect. After collecting this name, we have to convert this name into capital letters. How do we convert that? To upper case. It will convert to capital letter. After converting to capital letter, assign the same into this text box. That is the basic logic. That means read value from the text box, convert it into capital letters, again assign to the same text box. That is the basic thing we want to follow, the same logic, right? So let's do that now. First, we will collect username, document dot what, get element by id, txt name dot what, value. After that we have to apply the same username to same text box. That means document get element by id, txt name dot value is equal to what? Username. What you collected, the same you are assigning again. That means the text box value is the same username that you entered, but this time you have to convert to what? Uppercase. You have to convert to uppercase. Now see what happens here. I entered some name. I am entering some name. Any name you may enter, and you see once you finish, that is converted to uppercase. You click inside and I entered some name and it is immediately converted into uppercase. That depends on which event you return. Sometimes what they do, they immediately change while typing a character. For every character, if you want to change, instead of blur, here you can use, instead of blur, you can use on key up. You can use on key up. If I use on key up, you see what happens. I am typing here, immediately it will be changed. While typing itself, you can change. That depends on your requirement. So you wait until everything is finished, or you want immediately after every key is released, you can convert. That depends on your events, what event you want. In JavaScript, you will learn about all events separately, different types of events. As of now, situation wise, you have seen one event called onload. Another event, on click, you have seen. Just now you saw on blur. And another one is on key up. If you want to verify immediately, you can try that key up also, right? This is how we can format the characters, right? Here are two basic events we learned here. What are those events? Later, we have a separate session on events. One event is what? On blur. On blur is nothing but specifies actions to perform when element lost focus. When element lost focus. So we have like on key up. This is specifies actions to perform when a key is released. You can say that for every character. For every character. Later, you will detailedly learn about events. Just additionally, two events I have used here. On blur, another one is key up. So these are related to string formatting. String formatting is nothing but changing the appearance of a string dynamically. You can change its style, you can change its colors, you can change its size by using these methods. So here a important note is there. You cannot apply font and styles to RC data elements using string methods. You cannot apply font and style to RC data elements using string methods. That means, for example, I applied two uppercase for in which element we are showing uppercase? Text box. In text box, we are displaying uppercase. Can we display bold in text box? You can't. You can't display bold, italic, underlines. You cannot display font colors because text box is an RC data type. Text box is an RC data type, then you cannot apply those there. Only for paragraphs, headings, or divs, spans, you can apply them. For text box, you can't apply. For example, you try here. What I am doing is, after converting to uppercase, I am using bold also. I am applying bold. That means usually when I type here, bold means it will see B. It will not convert to bold, but it converted to bold in a paragraph or a data definition or a div or a span. So for RC data type, you can't apply them. Here you can apply change case. You cannot apply font styles, colors, and effects. What is RC data type? Already we learned, we discussed about them, right? So that means syntactically, suppose document.get element by ID. This is some text box ID. Text box ID dot value is equal to some name and dot bold. So this is invalid. That's not correct, because you cannot apply the formats for RC data type elements. Right. So next important, these are all what kind of functions? These are all string formatting. We will see string manipulations. What are the various string manipulation? JavaScript provides various methods for string manipulation. JavaScript provides various methods for string manipulation. It have a lot of methods for string manipulation. String manipulation related methods are so many. So many methods are present. I will give you here. So first important, so length, it is a property, length property, it is not a method. You know that it is used to return the total count of characters in a string. To know how many characters are there in a string, you can just use what? Length. Length is used to return the total count of characters in a string. How many characters are there in a string? You can return by using this length. Is it 10 characters, 6 characters, 7 characters? It is going to return that. So syntactically, you know this. So where some str will come. So if you use str dot length, then what it is going to return? 7. The length of characters is 7. How many characters are there? These are generally required for handling validations. They are used for handling validation. For working with validation, they are important. Let's see. Here, first I will give you this example. One example I will give here. Let me copy this example. This is for change case. For changing the capitalization, applying the formats. This is the example. Okay. Now let's see one example for this. How we can handle the string length. So let's try one example, simple. I will create a separate program. String1.html, because lot of examples we will see here. And in this, suppose we are asking for username and data definition. And here input type is equal to text, ID as txt name. And we will put a data definition, ID as user error. Okay, when user is typing the name, I want to verify how many characters are present. If it is less than 4, we want to display name is too short. If it is more than 4, then we will keep it empty. We will not display any message. Just basic length we are using. So see what we will do. We will write on key up. On key up means for every character. So verify name. I will write a function here, script, and a function, what it is, verify name. First collect the username, document dot get element by ID, txt name dot value, and user error, document dot get element by ID, user error. That is a data definition. We will write a condition. If username dot length is less than 4, if it is less than 4, then we will put user error dot inner HTML a message name too short, minimum 4 characters required, and we will put a font color. Font color is what? Red. Otherwise, if it is more than that, then user error dot what? User error dot inner HTML. We will keep an empty string, nothing inside. We will not display any message. We will clean up the string. We will put empty. Later, when you learn conditions, you will learn how to write multiple conditions, greater than this, less than this. For that, you need to learn about statements. Even you learnt about statements in your Java, other technologies, you know, if conditions and all. But here we will still learn about them. And when I discuss about conditional statements and all, I will explain more complex logics into that. Initially, only simple. If less than 4, say that it is too short. Now you see here, we are defining. Let's run this string and see. When I run this, it is saying username. I'm entering some username and it says name too short. Minimum 4 characters. And minimum, when we entered the 4 characters, it is fine. If it is less than 4 characters, then automatically this message will come. We are just verifying whether the number of characters are correctly according to requirement or not. And how do we know the number of characters in a string? By using what? Length. By using length, we can understand. Next important is char at. We have char at. It returns the character at a specified index in a string. It returns the character at specified index in a string. So usually index starts with 0. It will start with 0. So for example, so we have a var string str is equal to some welcome. And if I say str dot char at suppose 0, that means it is going to return what? W. It's say W. 0, 1, 2, 3. We can know at which character, at which location, which character is present. How to use in a program, I will show you. We will see one example how we use it. Char at 0. It returns the character. Now let's see here. So this is simple. For example, I want here, see, I want some name to start with only a character. Name should start with only a character. If name is not starting with a, I should not allow. Some bank codes, some SBI bank, they say that it should start with yes. Right? That's some character. I want to start with a particular character. At 0, I want that character. Otherwise, I should not allow. For example, how do you write logic for that? Let's do another logic. What is that logic is? We will write another event for the same text box on blur. On blur means I will write a function called verify character, char. I am writing verify char. Okay, let's write another function. I am writing another function in the script. What is it? Verify char. Here we have to get the username. Same document dot get element by id txt name. Txt name dot what? Value. After that, here we have to verify whether this username is starting with a character or not. Then what we have to do is, so here we have to define simply a condition. If I need error also, na? Where user error document dot get element by id. So user error is the data definition. We write a condition. If username dot char at 0 is equal to a, I am applying just a lowercase a. If it is equal to a, then allow, no problem. That means what we will do? User error dot inner HTML, we will keep it as what? Empty. Otherwise, if it is not equal to a, user error dot inner HTML, it should display name must start with a character. Like this we are defining. And we will apply font color. Font color is what? Red. And you see now, when user is typing here, first it will verify the number of characters you are typing. Name too short. I entered some name. It's fine. After I finished, blur. Blur means I click outside. It says name it start with a. I will enter some other name here. Some a, name too short. Okay. Now it is fine. I am starting with a. After that, I click outside. Now normal. If it is not so starting with a, So, and B something, you can say it says name must start with A. And it is starting with a character. Now it is okay. If it is starting with A, it's fine. That you can do. We can verify by using what? Caret. By using caret, we can verify at that particular index which character is present. We can access the character and we can verify. This is just only about that function. How to implement in different concepts we will see. Right. So what is the concept of caret? Caret is to verify what is the character present at particular index. And it returns that particular character. There is another option. Instead of caret, you can use char code at. Instead of caret, you can use char code at. What is the purpose of this is it returns the ASCII code of the character at specified index. And ASCII code of character at specified index usually uppercase A starts with what? 65. And it will be Z will be up to 90. Right? ASCII values, it will return the ASCII code of that character. So 97 to 195 to 122, lowercase and uppercase is 65 to 90, like that. Now the same logic we will write like this. Now I don't want to start with A. I want any uppercase letter. That means name must start with an uppercase letter. Name must start with an uppercase letter. Any uppercase letter it can be, A to Z. How do we know the first character is an uppercase letter or not? That means you see actually, suppose, so we are using syntax like this. Our name is equal to some Ajay, that is the name. And here we are using str dot char code at 0. It will not return A. It will return what? 65. If I say str dot char at 0, char at 0 means it will return A. It will return that A. Char coded will return the character code. By using the character code, we can verify whether it is a capital letter or a small letter. We can easily understand many things we have to manipulate using character codes. So then you can write logic like this. Let's see here. I will do one thing first. Up to this, I will put an example. Let me copy this example. This example is for char at. Let's see, there is another option. What is it? Char code at. Char code at. So I will simply change this logic. Logic is nothing but here we will write a condition. Condition is name can be anything, but it should start with an uppercase. Then how do you write the condition? If username dot char code at 0 is greater than or equal to how much? 65. That means the code is greater than or equal to 65 and double ampersand, that is logical end. Another expression, what is it? Username dot what? Char code at 0 is less than or equal to 90. That means it is an uppercase letter. Means the first character code, the character which is at 0 index, its code is between 65 to 90. That means it is an uppercase. If it is an uppercase letter, user error dot inner HTML, we will put empty. We don't want to put any message. Otherwise, user error inner HTML, we will display a message saying that name must start with uppercase letter. That is the condition. And dot what font color. So we will put a font color. Font color is what? Red. Now you see what happens is you can enter any name you want. You can enter any name you want, but it should have a capital letter. That means it starts with a capital letter. Name must start with uppercase letter. Now it is okay. It is okay. If it is not starting with a capital letter, suppose you entered like this, John, and it shows name must start with uppercase letter. J must be what? Uppercase letter. Now it is fine. If it is not starting with uppercase letter, then it says name too short, some and J. So, and you see now start with uppercase letter and you put an uppercase letter. Now it is fine. So if you want specific character, then you have to use char at. Any character, but it should be an uppercase letter. We want to get the code. We need to get the code. How we can get the code? By using what? Char coded. Char coded. So that is very important. So this is another example for that. Let me copy this example. And this is the example for char code. So we have three important methods. One property is what? Length. Another one is caret. Another one char code at. There is another option here. You can also use the methods starts with. So it returns boolean true. Boolean true if string starts with specified chars. Starts with specified chars. We also have ends with. So it returns true. It returns boolean true. Boolean true if a string ends with specified chars. Why I given like that? Because it indicates single character or multiple. It may be a single or multiple characters. Chars starts with. Let's see one example here. Just starts with, ends with. It returns a boolean true. It is going to return either true or false based on the string functions. Right. So what is this? Let's take a simple example here. I will copy some images into this folder. We have public images. Okay. And I'm adding some pictures into this. So in my images, I'm having some images folder. Here we don't have a. Let's copy that. Some images are there. Okay, let me copy some images here. Suppose we have images like Visa, Master. Okay. And copy this into our project images folder. I have some images. This is Visa and Master. These are PNG files. Small PNG files are present. Okay, let's add a new file. So string2.html. Now here we will write a simple, and let's keep a link relation style sheet. href node modules bootstrap dist css bootstrap.css. Okay, let's keep some bootstrap CSS. container fluid. And here I'm just keeping a heading, verify payment. So verify payment. Okay, and data list, data term, we say card number. And here we have a data definition. Input type is text and ID is equal to TXT card. And here we will put a class form control. Data list, I will just give class as W25. Fine. And beside this, I will keep an image class as input group text. Okay. And here image have an ID as pic. And this is having a class called input group. And you know, this is just a design like this. This is an option. Now, what should happen is user can enter some card number. User can enter some card number. And what we do is, while after entering the card number, I will give max length. So max length is 16. It should not be more than 16. Okay. Now we will put a condition that is on blur verify card. Now here we are going to write a condition. So script and function, what is it? Verify card. First we will collect what card they entered. Document.get element by ID txt card dot what value. After that we will collect the pic. Document.get element by ID what pic. That is actually image. And what we are doing now here, we are simply writing a condition. If card dot starts with 4455 sequence, that is a sequence. If it is starting with that sequence, then pic.src is equal to / public / images / we will put visa.png. Otherwise, we will put pic.src is equal to / public / images / master.what.png. Then see what happens here. You entered a card number. So 4455 is the card number and some 16-digit code we entered. After we finished it, it will display visa. This image we will change. It's not a large image we want. For this image, I will give the width as suppose 30. That means image will be 30 or 50 pixels image we will keep here. And you see when I am enter card number, so 4455 and some any card number here I entered, then it says visa. If I am entering a different sequence, If I entered a different sequence, then you can see it says master. That means it is changing. The width I will give as suppose 90. Then you can see it is going to display that I entered some sequence here, 4455 and some other sequence of characters. Once I finished entering, then it will show like this. There is some other sequence coming in, it is coming in, then it will display master. That means we are changing based on verifying whether it is starting with that particular character or not. Right? How you can verify the string starts with that character or not? By using what? Starts. You can even verify whether it is ending with or not. For example, so suppose you are having another data term. We say your Skype ID, something like this. And you define data definition. Input type is equal to text. ID is equal to txt Skype. And data definition, here we give an ID as Skype error. Okay. Now what we should do is, When user enters here, class form control, when user enters, Skype ID must be .outlook.com, means it should be outlook.com. It cannot be Gmail or any other account. Then what we will do here, we will write on what? Blur. Verify what? Skype. Verify Skype. And let's write a function here. What is the function verify Skype? How to collect where Skype is equal to document get element by ID. What it is? txt Skype dot value. If and one more is there. What is it? Skype error. Document get element by ID. What it is? Skype error. So we have to check the condition. If Skype dot ends with, it should end with outlook.com. Outlook.com. If it is ending with outlook.com, then we will display message Skype error dot inner HTML should be empty, because it is matching. Otherwise, Skype error dot inner HTML, it should display what it is, invalid Skype ID. And we will put a font color as what? Red. And you see now here, this is a card number, and they entered some card number and some number, and automatically it will display some Visa. Skype ID, some name at gmail.com, then it will display that invalid Skype ID, because it should end with whom? Outlook, outlook.com. Now it is fine. If it is not outlook.com, suppose some sbi.com, then it will display invalid Skype ID. It should be only outlook.com. This indicates starts with, another one ends with. These are used in various occasions. This is an example. Syntax I will give you here simply, where str is equal to some 4455, some number we are giving. And if say str dot starts with 4455, that means it will return true. Str dot ends with 4455, then it will return what? False, because it is not ending with that. So suppose you can verify str dot ends with suppose 88. So you can verify one character, two character, many characters. It will be true. You can even verify only one character also. That one character you can do with char at, but many characters you cannot do that. For that we have to use this ends with and starts. These are few basic functions of string handling. There are so many other string handling functions that we'll see tomorrow. This is enough first. You have to practice all this. There are some more. Tomorrow entire session will be string handling now. And tomorrow, after I explain some all other functions, I will give you some exercises now. That means I will give you exercises that you have to do it and show me. Understood? I will give live exercises. I will verify in the class itself. I will give you some exercise program. You have to write in the class and show me. Understood? All these days I have seen your faces. Now I will see your skills. Understood? I will check everyone whether you are capable of doing that or not, because this is the major thing. If you can't handle this, then in future, lot of advanced technologies you cannot manage, which are all JavaScript based. That's the reason you need to be very strong in logics also. Tomorrow, I will give you some lab exercises, which are very important, asked in various MNC interviews. That means I will take from a coding platform. We have coding platforms now. Coding platforms like LeetCode and others. So those platforms are used by software companies to conduct tests for developers. And from those platforms, I will show you questions, how they ask. and those questions you must able to manage, right? So there are so many coding platforms are there. We have an coding platforms. These are coding platforms actually. We have a lead code. This is the coding platform. And here in this coding platform, it is some are free, some are not free. In this problem solving will be there. Generally, software companies conduct interviews for software developers, for experienced people also from this platform only. That means they generate a question paper from here related to Java, .NET, any technology. They send that link to them. They have to answer those questions. Then they are qualified or not, they will call for the next round. Right? You see here interviews and everything will be there. Actually, from here, some problem solving we will take related to JavaScript. And those problem solving, if you can do, then you are good for cracking interviews. Not only JavaScript, because similar logics are asked everywhere. Java, Python, everywhere, similar logics are asked. So you need to be strong in that. Tomorrow we are going to do some practice on that. Okay, tomorrow I'll continue. Right.